and welcome back to the When We Were Kids, a Time Capsule Toys Podcast. I am Rick, sitting here once again with BJ, and we are going to talk about lots of stuff from when we were kids. But first, Toy Howell returns June 21st. This Sunday at Monsters in the Toy Box is Thunder Rosa. She's signed from 3 to 6. The shop next to us is doing a flash sale for tattoos. If you want to get tattooed, there you go. Also, there's going to be a pirate-themed coffee truck in the parking lot.
Nice.
So there's that too. So I'll be fueled throughout the day.
What's Thunder Rosa cost for combo?
It's $60.
That's not bad.
I think, or 50. I can't remember. I made the prices. I can't remember. But anyways, we're looking forward to it. And she, like I said, she signed in 3 to 6. So there's that. Our past episodes, I've noticed that the biggest thing going for us is talking about food.
Everybody loves food. Those clips always do. For any show down here, when like the conversation goes to food, like those clips always do well. The clips and just stuff, yeah. I don't know.
So, like, I think last week we talked about forgotten foods. Mm-hmm. So I wrote down 3 more forgotten foods. Do you remember when Bart Simpson advertised for Butterfinger?
Oh, yeah.
And I want to say it was very short-lived, Butterfinger BBs.
Yeah, I like those a lot. Those were good.
I did too. They were addictive, and you would eat like a whole bag in a sitting.
Well, I like those better too, because when you eat the regular Butterfinger bar too, like it gets so stuck in your teeth that It's like...
I thought it was
the
just
bites
me.
The bites were better because they didn't, like... We could do a whole segment on just shit that got stuck in your teeth as kids, like, because like Milk Duds I love, but I can't eat a Milk Dud because it's like all right, just it's terrible.
But yeah, I miss Butterfinger BBs, and that was back when Bart was like their mascot pretty much, and that was like all through the 90s. But I was like, man, I really miss Butterfinger BBs.
Yeah, those are good. They don't make. I can't believe those. Do they make like bites or something?
They do bites now, but
okay,
they're not the same.
Yeah.
Like Butterfinger BBs. It's so weird how my mind works. They were perfectly proportioned to where you could just eat them and you're good. The bites are just like mini. They're like
they just chunked up a bunch of Butterfinger bars.
Yeah,
and stuck them in a bag, pretty much.
Yeah, it's not the same. Yeah. It's like eating a Reese's cup and then eating a Reese's egg. It's different.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, no, I missed the bites though. Those were good. Or the BBs. Sorry.
Yeah, the BBs. No, bring back the BBs. Do away with the bites. Forgotten cereal. I didn't even know this existed. Don't even ask me how I found it. I was on the internet and I came across it. Never had it. Never knew it existed. But this won't be the first Dunkin' Donuts thing I reference today. The Dunkin' Donuts cereal.
I think I
from like the 90s.
Remember that because it wasn't like sort of like Cookie Crisp. Like it was like, weren't they like little?
They're like little donuts.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, but they weren't like, there wasn't like a hole in the middle of this stuff. I don't think they were like. I think I remember having that before, and I think I remember it being kind of like Cookie Crisp. That was the
and because it was advertised by the Time to Make the Donuts guy.
Okay,
which will be coming up later in this episode. Also, my latest addiction is iced Dunkin' lattes. These things are crack. Like, I drink one large one a day. Tonight it might be 2 because I accidentally slept in today and I was behind on everything, including getting here. Because I had 24 orders. I was like, oh, God damn it. I used to eat these things all the time as a kid. They came in a box and you'd microwave them. They were called Micro Magic Fries.
Those, I don't remember those at all.
All right. They came in a box, and you would buy them in like 6 packs or whatever. They were like wavy fries. And they came in a box, and you'd open them, and it had like it basically had the thing that like you would use to make Hot Pockets. You know, that weird lining that's inside the pocket sleeve.
Like the sleeve or whatever. Yeah, it was like.
So it had that in the bottom of the box. So when you would microwave them, they would cook. The box was like red, and it said Micro Magic Fries. More likely they don't make them anymore.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Because who wants to eat microwave French fries? But I remember as a kid, I used to eat them all the time. They were so good. At least in my mind, they were. They probably weren't so good because I always want French fries. But then my parents like hated going to get fast food and crap like that. The only time they did was when someone had a sale on something. That was about the only time you ever got French fries. Is there any forgotten foods that pop in your head from mentioning these three things that make you like, man, I wish they brought them back?
I'm trying to think of other microwavable stuff from when we were kids.
I know they still do the cheeseburgers. Because that was the Magic Fry thing, too. They had cheeseburgers, I think. But they still make the cheeseburgers. But it's not the same company.
I do remember eating a lot of vending machine, like stupid, like microwave cheeseburgers, the Hot Pockets, obviously, and stuff, too. But, I remember, burgers and chicken sandwiches and stuff like that. And they're always so awful. But I remember, thinking it was awesome when I was, 9. I could do this myself. And then, I made a sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah, I just, like I said, for this section of the show, I just been Googling random shit to see what I can come up with. And I was blown away when I was oh my God, Magic Fries. I used to eat those all the time. And Butterfinger BBs. Dunkin' Donuts cereal, not so much. Because the only cereal I ate as a kid was was it Sugar Smacks or Honey Smacks, whatever the hell, and Golden Crisp. And Frosted Flakes. Those were the only cereal I ate as a kid.
Yeah, don't get me started on honeycomb again.
Yeah, we'll try not to. It's garbage cereal.
Brutal.
And I don't know why I wrote this down, which I thought was interesting. It's some dumb fact I've always had in my head. I forget where I even learned it from. Growing up, before The Simpsons were the longest reigning cartoon. Do you know what cartoon was the longest reigning?
Flintstones.
Do you know why the Flintstones were canceled?
I do not.
Because they used Fred and Barney in a cigarette ad.
Ah.
So their reign.
Didn't they smoke on the show though? Didn't they take? They didn't take smoke breaks on the show. The Flintstones.
I don't believe so.
I thought they did. I thought all right, maybe I just remember the cigarette ads then, but yeah, I thought that they took smoke breaks, when they're.
No, I don't think they did, but they were featured in a cigarette ad, and that's why they got canceled.
Because where did they work?
They worked at a rock mine.
Yeah, do you remember what was it called though? It was called something. I don't remember.
Limestone or something like that, or
something like that. But yeah, I thought I remember them.
We're gonna look it up right now.
I thought I remember them smoking on their break at the rock quarry or whatever the hell wherever they were doing. But yeah,
he was a Bronto crane operator at the Slate Rock and Gravel Company.
That was it.
But yeah, they got canceled because they were in a cigarette ad. And they said because the Flintstones had such an impact on kids, that's why they had to cancel it, because it would encourage kids to smoke.
It didn't encourage kids to, go out and just get raw sides of meat and stick it on the side of the car and eat it hanging out the window or whatever the hell.
That was the logic. And it's crazy to think that logic goes today, too, in today's world. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, for everyone saying, oh, you're woke or any of that bull crap, no, it's this shit would happen back then.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the movie Silent Night, Deadly Night about the killer Santa Claus.
Vaguely.
That got pulled from theaters because moms protested because they said their kids would think that Santa Claus was a killer. Well, first off, your kids shouldn't be going to see a movie about a killer Santa Claus anyways.
Right. It's a problem solved.
So there you go. Kid wouldn't have that problem if you didn't bring him there.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was a fun little tidbit for some people who didn't know that the Flintstones got canceled because they were in a cigarette ad. Speaking of ads, let's go to commercials, which is a nice little thing I keep doing. I keep finding really weird commercials to see it helps trigger anything in your head of other commercials. This one is kind of creepy. It's from the 90s. in the 90s, the Trix rabbit was like everywhere. Huge thing. I used to have a No Effects shirt with Trix rabbit on it. The Trix rabbit finally got Trix from kids.
Remember, there was like a whole big voting campaign, wasn't there? Like where kids had to vote whether or not he got a bowl of Trix.
I don't even remember that.
This poor damn rabbit can't eat a bowl of cereal. Like,
because it's for kids.
Those kids just beat up that rabbit. Just give the damn rabbit some cereal if he wants some cereal. I want to beat up his kids.
So it's such a weird commercial. So the comedian Harlan Williams is sitting in this kitchen. He like rushes in, locks the door behind him, sits down at the table. He's so happy to have Trix, and he unzips himself, and he's a Trix rabbit.
All right.
It's like terrifying.
I don't remember that one. I like Harlan Williams, but I don't remember him being in that.
Yeah. It's so weird that it's Harlan Williams of all people, because like he never became like huge or anything, and he's just always been so weird. But that commercial is just so bizarre. The fact that he unzips like a human body and he's a Trix rabbit.
Yeah, I can't believe you don't remember the campaign to let him. That was like a whole big thing where the kids had to vote whether or not the poor rabbit could eat a bowl of Trix.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I'm gonna have to look it up now. So basically, my 3 commercials I wrote down were just like disturbing ones. The Slim Jim guy. His head looked like Slim Jim's. And he was like over the top ridiculous, but he looked like a nightmare.
I don't remember the Slim Jim guy. I just remember Macho Man being in all this stuff. You know what I mean? I'm going to have to look him up, too.
Look him up right now. Just write in Slim Jim. That should come up as Slim Jim guy. God, he's terrifying.
Oh, yeah, I remember this asshole.
He looks like he's about to kill somebody.
He does.
And like the look, he's always like this.
Yeah. Didn't he? Yeah, didn't he always yelled, "Eat me" at the end of the thing?
Yes.
Yeah, Slim Jim guy.
And he wore like a hairpiece that literally looked like Slim Jim's, and his outfit looked like a package. Like he looked like a human Slim Jim.
Yeah.
And he was obnoxious as all hell and terrifying. So that's the next wave of movies we're going to see. We got Winnie the Pooh, the murderer, the Popeye the Slayer man.
Yeah.
Now someone needs to go make a horror movie about the Slim Jim guy being a murderer.
You remember the movie The Ginger Dead Man with Gary Busey?
I just saw a Gary Busey video this morning.
It was terrible.
Jesus Christ, he looks awful.
Oh, he looks terrible, but yeah.
He has like no eyelids anymore.
He voiced the Ginger Dead Man.
Yeah.
It was a little like a gingerbread man went around killing people.
Yeah, well, I remember it. God, he looks terrible now. Terrible. Like, he has no lips. It's all teeth. He's like teeth and eyes. That's all he is now. And, like, I saw him, I go, Jesus Christ. Like, he looks like a corpse.
Well, he's getting out of age. He's got to be what? He's at least in his 70s.
I don't know, but he looks terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Another commercial that I thought was incredibly strange, which it's not shocking that it's a Pop-Tarts commercial, and it's not shocking that this flavor did not last. Watermelon Pop-Tarts.
I don't remember the commercial or the flavor even.
It was people pushing around like baby strollers, and like the people going like, "Oh my God, you're so cute," and it was just creepy. And then you find out then you see it was watermelon Pop-Tarts, and they clearly did not last very long because watermelon and pastry don't really mix.
Yeah.
Especially for Pop-Tarts because they're always so goddamn dry.
Yeah, yeah, right.
But like that commercial is just so weird because when you start watching, you have no clue what it's for. It's like a cologne commercial where you like see a bird flying, then a wave, then someone's standing there talking about how they lost their sense. Then it's like Dior. But like that's what this is. It's like you think they're advertising like Huggies or something like that, and then you're like watermelon Pop-Tarts, and you're like, wait, what the?
So they pushing around. So I take it the watermelon Pop-Tarts is what's in the strollers.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
And then everyone, oh my God, you're so cute, and oh my God, I just want to eat you up, and
Yeah, that's rough.
And then you find out it's for watermelon Pop-Tarts.
There was a commercial I remember for a video game commercial that I hated as a kid. You remember the commercial for Dr. Mario with the stupid witch doctor?
Yes.
Like, was it why? Like,
I forgot all about that commercial.
like you hear it, you're like, oh, it's just, yeah, it's a cringeworthy commercial where you're like, God, this is awful. Like, I mean, that game sucked anyway. It was just a Tetris ripoff. I don't know why I'm not sure why. I'm sure we're going to get flack for this because people that love Dr. Mario, like, I thought that was complete crap. I remember renting it and being like, this is like thinking it was something like a Mario game, whatever.
Yeah,
like,
but it's actually,
I'm just matching pills up and like it's just Tetris with pills. Like
that's what it is. And like I never really played Dr. Mario like ever. But I mean, I played it at like friends' houses or whatever, but I never went out of my way to get it because I was just like, I'd rather play Tetris.
Yeah, that's what I remember renting it and just being very completely disappointed that I wasted a rental on Dr. Mario because I thought it was something different. Like, and it was not.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but Dr. Mario, I forgot all about that commercial with the witch doctor and everything, which has nothing to do with the game.
No, it was on all the time too. I just remember it being on constantly and just hating it. Yeah. I thought of. Well, first off, my girlfriend's the one who came up. She said something the other night. I started laughing. She goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm putting it in my show notes." She goes, "I need credit." So here's your credit, Sean. The clapper. Oh yeah, I remember the clapper commercials. Yeah, I remember getting the I think my grandparents got my parents the clapper once for as a Christmas gift, and then
I made a section of these notes that said like forgotten inventions.
And then like I remember as a kid, you would just because any loud noise would turn on and off the lights, so you would just go around as a kid just screaming. And everyone went to somebody's house that had the clapper, and that's all you did too, you just screamed or yelled.
No one in my family had the clapper. No one.
It was very short-lived at our house, I remember, because I remember having it in our living room, and my dad, like, it didn't really work all that well either. And so my dad would be clapping, and it wouldn't go, you know. I remember that stupid commercial, too. Clap on, clap
That's the thing.
off.
More
like,
people remember the jingle than the actual invention itself, which should tell you something. Jingles sell. Mm-hmm. But the clapper thing, the clapper... and it not working made me think of, I want to say it was like a week ago. My dad was trying to listen to music on Alexa. Oh my God. He's like, Alexa, play something from the 1960s. Alexa, play something from the 1960s. It starts playing. He goes, Alexa, no, stop. Stop. Alexa, I said stop. And like, mind you, it's right next to him. And then he goes, oh my God. Alexa, play something. And it started playing like some Bruno Mars song. He goes, Alexa, stop. And he's screaming at it. And he's like, this listens as good as the dogs. I was just like laughing because I'm like, oh my God. But then when we talked about the clapper, I'm like, that thing probably worked about as good as my dad's Alexa.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure it's going to be us someday. But yeah, old people and technology is always hilarious. It's like, oh my God.
Just think about being there when they thought about the clapper, and old people were like, "This is the greatest invention ever.
This is amazing." I could
sit in my chair and just go. Then they go, "They ain't turning off. Why are they still on?"
I wonder if anybody out there still runs any of their electricity or any of their stuff on the clapper. If anybody still has one that works, or like it's still hooked up somewhere.
Probably. I'm gonna look right now on eBay. I want to see how much a clapper goes for brand new.
I mean, yeah, the clapper was just a little outlet you plugged into like it was like a converter or not even a converter or whatever. But yeah, you plugged it into the wall and then you plugged whatever appliance you wanted on the clapper. I'm pretty sure that's all it was a plug.
Someone had an original clapper, brand new in the box. $8. That's what it sold for.
Well,
wait, what's today?
They made about 60 million.
It just sold today.
They made about 60 million of those.
Someone already started listening to the podcast.
I can't imagine that. They're very with the amount that they made, because that was the clapper was everywhere.
Oh yeah, it was. That's something else I was thinking about too when I thought of the clapper. was like infomercials. But there's the one thing that we didn't have, which we'll talk about 90s infomercials in a second, because I want to talk about the other forgotten invention. My aunt used to have one. I played with this stupid thing all the time. Draft dogs.
I don't remember draft dogs.
You would put them at the bottom of your door, and they look like long wiener dogs. And they would stop the draft from coming in.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, my aunt had a red one. I played with it all the time. They were just like, all they were like long wiener dogs filled with sand. That's all they were.
Is there a collection of draft dogs out there? I bet you there is. Like somebody, I guarantee you somebody collects those.
Oh, I know. And like my aunt had one. I played with that stupid thing all the time because like when I'd go there, she wouldn't have any toys. I'm like, oh, it's the draft dogs out.
I wonder how many different ones of those they made. Yeah, we're gonna have draft dogs at Toy Hio. Someone's gonna bring a whole collection.
A lot of people are like, oh my God, I forgot about those. Because a lot of people just use the long ones that were just nothing. But then there's the ones that were actual dogs.
Wonder which, yeah. What's a draft dog go for on eBay these days?
I don't know. Probably a lot because they were awesome.
Draft dogs for doors. Oh, there we go. There's new ones
I
on
bet
Amazon.
I bet BJ thought I was lying.
There's new ones on... Yeah, there's newer ones. I don't know. Was this the 80s?
Had to have been 80s, maybe 90s.
80s and see if there's some, like, a lot of... Here's one
Sarah
from
and my
the
aunt
80s.
had a red one. I used to play with it all the time.
Pages missing. Yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch on Etsy and a bunch whatever. I'm guessing there's ones from the 80s, though. I'm sure there's one for the 80s. Oh, there's one from the 80s, but yeah, there's no... No, surprised I'm not... Didn't get
Oh, boy, here's one. Handmade.
Yeah, people make their own. Those are
It
still,
looks like a furry necklace.
they're still a thing.
I'm glad they're still a thing. They need to be. They were amazing. And we're bringing them back. Oh, here's one. In U.S., it was $38. That's what it sold for.
Oh, from the 80s, okay. Or 60s, 70s when that one's older.
But yeah, that's like what my aunt used to have, except for hers was all red.
There's got to be a lot of those out there sitting in somebody's attic, I'm sure.
Draft dogs. All right. Since we talked about infomercials and basically for the clapper, do you remember any infomercials from growing up that would like you'd fall asleep and you'd wake up to the TV on and you'd have Dionne Warwick trying to have you call her 1-800 number so she can tell you her future?
There was a lot of those, the fortune teller ones.
Yeah.
Remember
Miss Cleo?
Miss Cleo was big. Now, so the infomercials that I remember the most, though, and I missed these. I missed the infomercials for like CD box sets, like in music and stuff, because like, and I would buy those. Like I bought the Monster Ballads one.
Oh my God, I forgot about
Rock one. I bought one.
I forgot because they would always be skydiving.
Yeah, oh yeah, and the Monster Ballads one, they would, yeah, the Monsters of Rock, they'd skydive. And then I remember I bought one. I came home all drunk, and this was like right when I started drinking, so this is not that long ago. Well, 20 years anyway. But I remember like the last one I bought was Ultimate Rock Ballads. It was like a 10 CD collection that I bought. It was all hammered. It's like, yeah, I have to have this. Like,
That comes in the mail. You're like, what the hell
the
is
commercial
this?
was so amazing. There was like every song. I'm like, yeah, that song's great. That song's great. That song. So yeah, I missed those ones, and they always had Kevin Cronin from Mario Speedwagon on there, and like it'd be him and some actress, whatever, and they'd be like, boy, that's a great song. Like, boy, that's great. Like
I forgot all about those late night like 10 CD packs that you could buy of greatest hits. It's like, get the greatest hits of Engelbert Humperdinck. I'm like, he had a hit?
Yeah.
But I forgot all about those. Those were like shortly after Columbia House. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, those got real big. Real big in the like late 90s. You started seeing a bunch of those because there was enough nostalgia going on from the 70s, 80s, whatever, the 60s
I'm
or
trying to think of some
whatever.
other ridiculous info. Oh my God. Matthew Lesko
Oh, yeah, that guy.
with the question marks all over his, or exclamation points all over his suit.
I was talking about that guy down here not long ago That guy ended up being right. Like he was where he's talking about all the free government money you could get. Well,
Yeah, I think we talked about it on here before.
They're cutting all those programs. Thanks,
You
Elon.
can get all this government money for free.
I think Elon Musk is putting Matthew Lesko out of business because like he had all the loopholes. You spend like $50 in that book.
Matthew Lesko might have been his dad.
Like
He's like, I'm going to show you, Dad. Trying to make other people rich.
maybe yeah, but I think that guy's gonna. I think that guy's still around. Somebody commented on whatever post was with him that he still has a YouTube channel and still talks about getting free government money. Although, like I said, I think it's gonna be a lot harder to do these days now.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, Matthew Lesko. Who else did we have? Oh my God. I used to love watching these infomercials. You might. I'll say his name. Ron Popeil.
I remember Ron Popeil. Yeah,
You remember what he would sell?
he sold all kinds of shit. But didn't he sell
His
like
main
the
thing
fake
was-
hair?
I don't know about the fake
Remember
hair.
the spray on hair? Like I don't know if it was Ron Popeil that did that, but it was like hair in a can. You sprayed it on your head, and it just was like.
I just
some
remember him
chemical
selling that
going up your head.
rotisserie. And him saying, set it and forget it.
Yeah.
I used to work at buybacks. This nut job came in one day. And it was like, it's probably my favorite buyback story ever. This guy's just in there forever, just talking and talking and talking. Then he starts talking about the Illuminati. Then he just goes, you know who the leader of the Illuminati is, right? I go, no. I go, does anyone know who the leader of the Illuminati is? He goes, people know, but they don't want to say. I'm like, okay. He goes, it's Ron Popeil. I go, the rotisserie guy?
Yeah, right.
He's like, yeah, he's the leader of the Illuminati. And I literally laughed at his face. I was like, the set it and forget it guy is the leader of the Illuminati. He's like, yes, they just don't want people to know it. That's why that's why they like voted him in or some bullshit like that. I'm just like, Ron Popeil. And that's always stuck in my head. Like, Ron Popeil, the infomercial rotisserie guy, is the leader of the Illuminati.
There was always those. Yeah, I remember a lot of food infomercials. Like, there was always cooking products. It was always like,
I
how
think
you
my
could cook
parents
this
still
or
have that one, the food dehydrator that you can make your own beef jerky and prunes in
Yeah.
and everything else.
There's that one. That
was a huge deal. I remember when my grandma got one. She thought it was like the greatest invention ever. But she never used it. She would just talk about how great it was. And she wouldn't use it. Oh, it's so good. I love all the things you can do with it. What'd you have made with it? Nothing.
Which one was what was the most famous juicer one? There were a couple juicer ones.
Jack LaLanne.
That was it.
The guy
yeah.
with crazy eyebrows
Yeah.
that can lift up cars.
So you get all these. Look at all the juice you get out of this orange. You just shoving oranges in the same.
You want a carrot? Here you go. It's like carrots don't have any juice. I mean, we're making juice.
Well, that sucked. I remember getting that juicer, and
The juice tiger.
you had to shove like 40 oranges in there to get a glass of juice. You don't realize there's not that much juice in an orange. like when you get like,
It's like, do you want great juice? Here's some gravel.
he juiced everything, man. Just shove everything in there.
Like the George Foreman grill. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's cutting out the fat. No, you're squeezing all the juice out of it.
It's just a waffle iron. It's just a tilted waffle iron. That's all that is. But yeah, and Hulk Hogan claimed that he passed up on it.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan, because Hulk
millions.
Hogan had his own juicer.
He had his own everything. He had his own pasta
It was called like
machine,
the Thunder Maker or something. It was just big. All it was a big bottle thing that you would like pump it and spin stuff. Like it was not. It was stupid.
Yeah, Hogan he was on a lot of dumb. Yeah, he had a lot of dumb products.
And a dumb restaurant.
Oh, he had a restaurant too. I remember Hulk Hogan's Pasta Mania, but
That's what it was. It was Pastamania. It was inside the Mall of America.
I didn't realize he had his actual own restaurant. I remember him hucking pasta or whatever.
Yeah, it was Pastamania.
Wasn't there some sort of contraption that you cooked the pasta in though too that he did?
Oh, I have no clue.
Like I thought there was like a home version of Pasta Mania.
No, he had a thing at Mall of America. It was Pastamania. Very short lived.
Man.
The one wrestling themed restaurant that lasted longer than Pastamania was WWF New York.
Oh, I remember that. That was like
They would always have Sunday Night Heat there. They have some random host Like, here's Maven at WWF New York.
Yeah, wrestling in restaurants. I don't.
No, it doesn't work. No matter how many times you try it don't work.
No.
So many people are in this episode are going to be like, oh my God, they're bringing back all the shit I forgot about.
I forgot about it till just now.
I'm shocked that you remembered Postomania. So last week, I think it was, we talked about mascots for toy stores. Scott, our regular listener, got mad at me and yelled at me because I forgot the kangaroo from Kitty City.
I don't remember that at all.
And I said, dude, we didn't even have a Kitty City. He goes, Cleveland. I go, it's not, Cleveland is not around here.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't even remember Kitty. I never even heard of that store before.
Yeah, their mascot was like a kangaroo or whatever. But like, I was trying to think of mascots that were actual people. And I thought of two.
Okay.
The Dunkin' Donuts guy.
Yeah.
It's time to make the donuts. Which was huge in what, like the 70s and 80s. And then they just cut him off because I guess they felt there was something creepy about a fat guy with a mustache being your spokesperson. And then Ronald McDonald. Which they don't even use Ronald McDonald anymore.
The fast wasn't
Probably because clowns terrify everybody.
Would this guy be considered a mascot, or is he just a spokesperson? The Micro Machines guy, the fast talking Micro Machines guy, was he a mascot technically?
I would say he's a mascot because he was the world's fastest talking man. But yeah, I forgot all about him. I can't even do an impression of him because he spoke so damn fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, because his face was all over like he was in every Micro Machines commercial.
I'm trying to think of other.
Like I thought about Wendy's, mascot. But the mascot for Wendy's on the sign didn't look like Dave Thomas's daughter.
Yeah.
And her name actually wasn't even Wendy.
Actual people.
You can't really consider the Rax guy because he was a cartoon.
Nah, he was a cartoon.
That snotty cartoon man. I'm trying to think what other ones. Like Ron McDonald, they did away with probably because he was terrifying.
People out there yelling at their TV or phone or wherever they're watching this right now.
Exactly.
Because they know 10 other ones. We're going to have to do a live version of this show.
And then, I've asked some of our listeners if they'd be interested, and they're like, oh, God, yes, please.
Yeah, we're going to have to start doing a live version of the show once a month in the evenings or something.
Yeah, that's what I said. So I'm trying to think what other ones there were. Like, I forgot about the Micro Machines guy, Ron McDonald, Dunkin' Donuts guy. Well, there was a Slim Jim guy. Who else? I can't even think of anybody else that was like an actual person that you would associate with like a toy, a food, or anything. Like I can't. My mind's just drawing a blank.
Yeah, I mean, Macho Man was a Slim Jim as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, Macho Man, Slim Jim, yeah. But like, I can't think of anything else for like a restaurant, cereal, toy. Oh, why didn't I think it just popped in my head? Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh yeah, or G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Like he's probably the biggest one of all, and it was the last one I thought of.
I forgot about him.
Like biggest one of all had to be Sergeant Slaughter because he advertised Joe. He did like PSAs, and he was on wrestling.
Sergeant Slaughter, was he... They made the G.I. Joe character after the wrestler, right? Or was it the other way around?
I want to believe they made it after the wrestler.
Pretty sure they made it after the wrestler, because, I mean, he was already wrestling. He might not have had that gimmick yet, but... Because I think he wrestled long before that gimmick, too.
Yeah,
but.
I believe so. But yeah, it's... I don't know. It's now it would be probably the point in time you think they would hire... Well, nowadays, you have people you associate with things like Ryan Reynolds with, what is it, like Cricket or Mint Mobile or whatever the hell it is. And then that dude from Law & Order SVU as he would get in accidents and stuff like that for those like State Farm commercials or whatever. Like nowadays, like I feel that actual people are more of mascots than back in the day. Because back in the day when we were kids, we had like our mascots were like clowns, kangaroos, random animals from whatever. And then now it's just like famous actor attached to whatever.
What did Dennis Leary used to be on ads for all the time? Remember comedian Dennis Leary? I remember him always lecturing and always being like real ticked off in the ads. But what were the ads for? Was it like a shoe ad? It wasn't Nike or whatever. What was it like?
Oh my God.
What did he used to advertise?
Nike.
He was Nike.
Oh, Nike and the old MTV commercials. He used to do commercials for MTV.
Gotcha.
It would just be him ranting.
Yeah.
Like nonsense. So he used to do Nike commercials and then the MTV commercials, which I completely forgot that he used to do the MTV ones, like him driving cabs and stuff like that. Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
There was another MTV guy that drove a cab too. Who was like remember the real weird looking dude?
Yes, I actually was just thinking of him.
That was in the 90s where, he would be driving around talking about whatever the hell
Jimmy
was
the
popular.
cab driver.
Okay.
Oh my God, he looked like my Uncle Dick.
I forgot all about that guy. I
Greasy hair, glasses, and a white
the big thick
V-neck.
glasses and
Yeah, he looks like my Uncle Dick, who I no longer speak to for probably legal reasons.
there's probably a lot we're forgetting from the 90s. I'm sure there are. If you know out there, please comment.
But there's like I said, there's so many in our day when we were kids. Mascots were just cartoon characters or people in costumes. Nowadays, it's like actual actors. MTV obviously had greasy looking pedophiles and Dennis Leary. But last week we wanted to do baseball cards. We didn't get a chance to. But this week we're doing them. Also, next week we will be back with, there was toys for that. Because the one movie I wanted to cover never came in, so I have to reorder it. 2, the one movie I did watch, the toys are being delivered today. So we'll do it next week.
So this will be. I'll give you a stack of these. So this segment's going to be called
BJ's Retirement Fund.
Comics, Cards, and Collectibles we thought were going to make us rich when we were kids. Because that encompasses a lot more than just baseball cards. It could be any kind of card or anything like that. But I had baseball cards, and I had several that I thought were like, man, I got this. Like, there's no way. So we're going to start with Frank Thomas rookie card here. And I don't think this is worth anything. If it is, if any of these are out there worth anything, if anybody's watching this, holler. But I think every time I look these up, it's like, oh yeah, that could be worth $10 if you get it graded for 30. So I mean, why?
Why am I getting it graded?
Why am I? Yeah. So, but yeah, like back then, if they slapped 2, and I've got several of these, if they slapped the draft pick decal on there, or here's Tim Salmon's rated rookie card. Like if they slapped the rated rookie on there, it was like, oh, I got to put that one away. That one's going to be worth
I don't
whatever.
even know who Tim Salmon is.
He was around for a little bit, but he was obviously he didn't pan out.
All right,
I mean,
so
this card's
rookie
worth
card.
nothing.
I remember Upper Deck was like the high class of baseball cards when I was a kid.
Yep.
Like if you didn't, I bought those fucking Fleer that were yellow.
Yeah.
Because I could afford those. I couldn't afford Upper Deck, and if I got Upper Deck, I felt like I was pure class. Greg Vaughn.
That was another one, and yeah, again, that one, Greg Vaughn was all touted because they slapped that rookie thing on all of his cards, where it's like, oh, this guy's gonna be great, and well, I don't
think anyone who came from Milwaukee was ever great.
I don't think Greg Vaughn ever really panned out, but
Another person from the 1984 United States baseball team, Billy Swift.
So I got a story about that. So there was a Mark McGwire in that set that at the time when we were kids was like the holy grail of rookie cards or whatever else, whatever, the Mark McGwire, and it used to be worth a ton. And I think I saw it on eBay for like $2 recently. So nothing. I mean, they inflated the market, but I remember getting that and be like, wow, I was so excited whatever pack I opened up, and then it was Billy Swift, and I'm like, oh, Billy Swift. I was hoping it was Mark McGwire. So I'm gonna do this. This is my favorite baseball player growing up as a kid, and this card I remember as a kid being worth money, and it's probably worth 50 cents now. It was Eric Davis's rookie card.
Once again, never heard of him.
You never heard Eric Davis? No. Oh, yeah, so he was big on the Reds for a handful of years. He got injured a bunch, or he would have been. He was actually really, really good, but he got injured a ton. But yeah, another example. I remember this card being like out of my price range. Like, oh my god, I can't afford that when I was a kid, and getting it later when it was a little bit cheaper. Now I get like all of them, they're all worth 50 cents. So yeah, that one's worth nothing.
Juan Gonzalez.
Yeah, Juan Gonzalez.
I actually like the borders of these cards. These Don Russ. Was it 90? Don Russ 90 cards.
They made so many of those cards. There was that one, and there was the year before, like it was like the blue outline.
Then you got
one.
the Juan Gonzalez 1990 Upper Deck rookie.
That one I remember too being like this sought after big card. Like, you remember Beckett, right? Where it had the Beckett, the price guide and stuff.
Oh, I had to get them all the time to check my to check the see how much my whatever the oh my god, I can't remember. There was some pitcher. Or no, it wasn't pitcher. Maybe it was some Hank Aaron set that came out. Maybe. I can't remember what it was. It was like 5 cards to this set. And I thought it was like gold. And I'd always get Beckett's to check the price of it. I'm like, I'm going to be rich. Don't know where that... It's probably in a landfill now.
Anytime Donruss did this to the Diamond Kings within the pack, you were like, oh, I got a Diamond King, because they had, whatever. These were inserted, whatever. And I don't know if any of them are... I doubt any of them worth anything. Nothing from the late 80s and 90s is worth anything, but I've got a zillion of these too. Like, yeah, I probably have 100 of these Ken Griffey ones. So.
Growing up, this dude was everyone's favorite. Jim Thome.
A couple Jim Thome rookie cards in there, and I was just flipping through that set. I've got like 8 of those, I think, and I'm sure they're worth nothing.
There's a couple in here.
Yeah.
I think 2.
There were several more. I'm going through, like, sipping through. I'm like, geez, oh man, I got a zillion Jim Thome.
But everyone loved. No one that watched anyone who watched baseball liked Jim Thome. Like, no one hated that dude. Like in the '90s, like everyone was like, oh yeah, hell yeah, Jim Thome, Jim Thome, Jim Thome. Him and Kenny Lofton.
I saw him in the early. This would have been like 2006 or 7 when I was a sports editor. I saw him hit batting. I was on like. Standing next to the cage when he was just hitting home runs in batting practice because I got a field pass, whatever.
Yeah,
which was cool. But yeah, he just he's beating balls to the upper deck for. Speaking of,
I'm gonna save this one card for last.
Other former Indians. So this one, I don't know if I had this one sitting out in the sun or what, or these hard cases all get brown, whatever. But Joey Bell.
I don't remember.
Became Albert Bell. Don't you remember?
Oh my God! Why did he change his name?
I don't know. I have his autograph as Joey Bell too on something.
Oh really?
I'm sure it's not worth anything either.
It might be worth. Maybe it's worth more.
Where he signed it Joey, but yeah, the infamous for. You remember the dude went to tag him on a double play and he just jacked him. He's random, like literally just like shoved the guy down.
I remember. He did they did a bobblehead of him. It was a giveaway. And I went to that bobblehead night. It sat in my closet for I don't know how many years. And I went to give them to my aunt. Because my aunt was selling bobbleheads. She goes, you don't want to give these to me. I was like, why? Then she showed me. I go, oh, Jesus Christ. They were going for like $80 a piece. And I got them for free just for going to that. I never thought they would be worth anything. I did not know they were worth anything, but I ended up selling them. And that's why I found out there's a lot of bobbleheads worth some money.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite Kmart card, 1988 Dream Team Greg Jeffries. That's right. We're just going to call him Triple G because who needs that many G's in their name of Greg?
Greg Jeffries was another one of those guys where like
it's this Kmart rookie card.
He showed up on everything and he never did anything. Like I don't know, like there was a bunch of players like that where like suddenly they would have like they'd be on Dream Team cards or they'd be rated rookies or they would be whatever the hell or Topps All-Star rookies and they would have like little symbols on their cards and you think like, oh man, this guy's gonna be great. And Greg Jeffries didn't do shit. He did nothing. Like there was a zillion guys like that.
Well, there's this guy who I never heard of. Draft pick number 1, Angels, Jim Abbott.
He had one hand.
Wait, what?
He was the guy that had one hand. He was
Is that the guy you talked about?
I saw him play in Youngstown. He played at Pemberton Field when I was a kid, I remember. But he was there. But yeah, he had one hand, so he would throw, then he'd flip his glove. He threw a no-hitter in the majors. He wasn't a great major league pitcher. He was around for a little bit. But I think he has a kid that's in the majors, or I'm pretty sure he has a kid that's in the majors that's been playing in the majors. But yeah, he was famous because he had one hand.
Oh wow! Didn't know that.
Yeah. This is another dude that was all whatever. I think this guy's actually in the Hall of Fame, though, was Ivan Rodriguez rookie card. Which, again, I don't know if this is worth anything. It's probably not. Since none of them are.
The Reds Topps All-Star rookie card of Chris Sabo.
Yeah, Chris Sabo had, like, he was, I'm a diehard Reds fan, so yeah, he was rookie of the year, and he was real good that first year that they won the World Series in 1990, and then he just sucked after that. He was out of the league within 2 years. He took a nosedive.
This guy made everyone like the Braves for that short period of time in the early 90s. Dave Justice.
Oh, yeah. Dave Justice cards, those were highly sought after. You got a Dave Justice in the pack.
I don't know why, but I was obsessed with this dude when he started playing in the 90s, and then I thought it was so awesome too because he was on an episode of Married to Children. Mike Piazza.
And that's Donruss, I think, 93, whatever. So that's just, again, a rated rookie thing on there. And they made so many of those cards. And I remember my dad getting us boxes of those cards. Like, I have so many of those whatever that year. They made so many of them. I've got like 15 of those Mike Piazza cards.
He had like the best perm in MLB.
Yeah.
He had like a mullet perm.
Mike Piazza rookies again. Yeah, it's worth it.
Oh, here's one of your Diamond Kings. This is a Carlos Baerga. You bought that for a steal of 50 cents.
50 cents, Carlos Baerga. So, yeah, apparently I needed it back in the day.
Do you remember where you bought it?
I don't remember. I remember going to card shows every once in a while, though, and, like, buying baseball cards at baseball card shows. And then also, that's where I mentioned last time, Hot Shots, which was next to New York Music in Boardman, sold cards, I think, too. They sold comics and cards. There was a couple within... I remember growing up, there was a couple in downtown Columbiana. There was a sports card shop, too. I can't remember what the hell it was called. It wasn't open very long either, but yeah.
One of the most controversial cards. Froggy Flips collects these, but he will only collect the unedited one.
Yeah, that's the edited one. So that one's worth nothing. The Bill Ripken.
The Bill Ripken. A lot of people, some of you may know, some people may not know. There's a black bar or a black piece of tape or whatever on the bottom of his bat because the bottom of his bat said fuckface.
there's versions of the card that have it on there.
So the ones that say fuckface are worth something.
Yeah, they went in and touched that up for later versions of the card. But yeah, so yeah,
because the one card I always remembered about, and I wanted it so bad as a kid, was the Frank Thomas card of him in the dugout giving the finger.
Yeah.
I wanted that card so bad as a kid.
This was one of my favorite cards as a kid growing up, and this one might actually be worth a couple bucks, but Bernie Kosar's rookie card.
He's doing some did you see he's doing like a tour of Ohio?
Is he?
I was like, I kind of want to go. It's like a Q&A stand-up thing.
I'd love to get him to sign this card for me, but I don't think that'd probably cost me money. He'd probably charge me for that.
It'd probably make the price of the card go down.
$50, kid. And now, all right, so I'm going to bring out what this was going to be my retirement portfolio when I was 10 years old, right? I got this. I'm like, this dude, his cards are going to be worth so much. And then I had this limited edition set that I bought of him. So, Jose Canseco. So this was a set that came with this little...
I didn't even know that was a thing.
This little book. So the set came with Jose Canseco and Jose Canseco's talking baseball card.
Oh my god!
You can put on a record player and listen to Jose Canseco.
You can listen to him barely talk.
So yeah, I mean, I've never tried to play this, but so yeah, there's that, and then
have you looked it up?
I've not looked this up. So this set, I don't think this set's worth anything. But yeah, so
what's it called? Jose Canseco what?
Talking baseball card. But yeah, so this was just a set, we're just limited edition Jose Canseco, right? These green cards, where it's just a bunch of different, again, pictures of Jose Canseco. It's all the same card. But then it also came with the Jose Canseco story booklet. And then, yeah, I just put the rest of my Jose Canseco cards in here. So, the one that everybody was after, or the couple that everybody were after, were these ones. So he had 2 Donruss cards in 87. This Topps one was everybody had this card or wanted this card, or when you got one of these in the pack, you were like, oh my God, I got a Jose Canseco rookie card.
You're like, oh my God, I got that Dream Team card of him with no shirt on.
Right. That too from Score. Like, thanks, Score. I think the whole line of this whole Dream Team set was just the dudes without their shirts on. I'm pretty
It
sure.
looks like a Calvin Klein ad.
I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of these Dream Team cards from that set, and they're all shirtless. Like, why?
Because they reused them for Calvin Klein ads.
I got a good idea. Let's do whatever. But yeah, so Jose Canseco.
Oh, mind you, I looked on eBay. None of those have sold recently.
Yeah, so yeah, if anybody out there knows if this set, although my booklet's ripped, so
It had so much love.
It did. I think
That's also back in the time where everyone loved the A's, because you had Jose Canseco and you had Ricky Henderson, who led baseball in the most stolen bases.
Ricky Henderson. Yeah, I mean the A's were, because again, I'm a Reds fan my whole life. So the Reds won this World Series in 1990. They swept the Oakland A's, and the Oakland A's were supposed to sweep the Reds. Everybody thought the A's were going to kill them, and the Reds just. Yeah, they wiped the floor with them in four games. So, but yeah, Jose Canseco was on the team. Dave Stewart was the one, their main pitcher. Dennis Eckersley was their reliever. Walt Weiss was I could just sit here and name 80s baseball players all day, but yeah,
I can't name anyone who plays baseball now.
Now I'm not so good now. If it's not the Reds are like Guardians, I pretty much don't know. but yeah, back then I knew everybody.
But do you have more cards at home?
Oh, I have plenty more. This is just round one. So yeah, more cards, more other random. Yeah, we'll see what else other random crap I pull out of the closet that I thought was gonna be worth something. But yeah, I'll bring it in.
All right. So we'll have more segments like that, and like I said, next week we'll bring back. There was toys for that, but that was us for today. Thank you, everyone, tuning in and checking us out. Make sure to check out everything else at all the other podcasts at Young Sound Studio. They started doing a morning show. Neither one of us are a part of that, but that's okay because we like sleep when we can.
Yeah, if you're into it's like morning talk radio. So.
Yeah, morning talk radio. If you're into politics and deer and whatever else they want to talk about. But right. Make sure to check out Time Capsule Toys in Niles, Ohio. Check out Monsters in the Toy Box in Warren, Ohio. Don't forget Thunder Rosa is signing this Sunday from 3 to 6. And BJ only has like 5 tickets left for Jackal.
Now they're sold out.
Right? All right. Well, sorry.
Jackal's sold out, but Friday, Turbo Lovers, our video premieres for a new song, Black and Blue, which comes out. So that'll be on Friday.
And that was that one filmed at Pastimes?
Yeah, it was from the Pastimes Arcade. So yeah, it's cool. We have to everybody out there see how many games you can name that we put in this thing, because we put a lot of them in there. So. Pinball and arcade cabinets. Which, speaking of, one more thing before we go, I found this out. There is. We've talked about this game before. Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf.
Oh, God.
There is.
I knew you were going to say it. There can't be.
An arcade game. That's what it was based on. And I found that there was an arcade cabinet for that. So I've seen that if anybody out there knows where a Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf arcade cabinet is, like I will buy it. I'm not kidding. But I'm guessing that none of these exist anymore. If anybody has it, it's some collector that has it sort of right in their basement. But yeah, I've looked and there's no signs of this arcade cabinet. And I think they only made 100 and some of them, whatever. So
why am I not shocked?
Yeah, they're probably all gone. But yeah, so
BJ's new White Whale. His Moby Dick is Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf. The arcade game.
The arcade cabinet. I want that in my bar room. So yeah.
Oh my God.
Any leads on that would be much appreciated.
Jesus Christ. Why would they make that?
Well, I mean, it's just a golf video game, whatever. But yeah.
I know, but still.
And they've stuck Lee Trevino on it, so
Someone find it for BJ. He cannot fulfill his life until he has it.
I need this game.
Well, thank you, everyone, once again for tuning in, checking us out, and finding out some tidbits of nostalgia that we weren't aware of. We'll see you guys next week. Hello, and welcome back to the When We Were